We get ready for a start now in the Supersport class. Can Rick Olsen get a good start and make life easier for himself in this one? Looked like Callum Spriggs got a great start, but once again, it's Braden Elliott on board the Suzuki that should lead them down into turn one. No, it's Callum Spriggs. And also Troy Gunther has got a great start on board 65.
And yeah, he gets a little bit of a heavy shake out of DID Chains turn one that time around. Troy Gunther will be out for a good result this one. Perhaps not quite as, didn't do quite as well as he expected in the first bout, so he'll be out to make amends this time around.
Jay Precipio's got a great start on board bike number 5. He's up into fourth place. Had Rick Olsen right on his ducktail as they come down towards Dunlop Corner turn 3 for the first time. It is still Callum Spriggs, Troy Gunther.
A bit wide.
How economical was Troy Gunther with the circuit use there? He was right in on the apex and very tight on the exit of turn 3.
Protecting his line there. I didn't think he was going to pull it up at first, but he did gather it all up and nearly managed to get Spriggsy, who didn't look to have gone in there too hot, but still ran that little bit wide. So, but all nose to tail. Look at that as they stream through Bell Helmets turn 4 and 5 for the first time in their second 8-lap distance.
Well, Troy Gunther had his worst result of the weekend this morning in race number 1, where he finished in 5th position. He's got off to a much better start in this one. He's sitting up there in 2nd place at the moment as Rick Olsen gets the better of Jay Precipio to move into 4th. And it's fair to say Rick Olsen has got a much better start than what he did in the race this morning too. Hasn't had to work his way back through the field. As we look there at Paul Young on board bike number 96, he's in that next group of riders. This is behind this top 5 that have just made a fractional break away from the rest of the field as they make their way down through Race Tech Suspension turn 2.
Of course, some of the leading protagonists from this series last year in this 600 category are on off to different pastures this year. Of course, Aidan Wagner gone to a World Supersport gig, and yeah. Oh, geez, very messy there from Precipio under brakes down into Dunlop turn 3.
Oh, he practiced that on the warm-up lap into turn 6 on the corner on the first of the warm-up laps, but it's still Callum Spriggs leading from Troy Gunther, Braden Elliott, Rick Olsen.
And Aaron Morris, another man missing from this class this season. He's just doing the Asian Championship this year. But, he was out there turning a few laps at Eastern Creek last Monday when I was out there on a couple of Aprilias, Phil.
Yeah, doing some
Rick Olsen
pretty good work in the
Braden Elliott.
Asian Championships as well. But good smooth move there from Rick Olsen, holds it back on line. So we saw him run wide and end up in the kitty litter there at turn 6 yesterday afternoon as he was trying to make his way through the field.
So Olsen looks to be coming on very strong. Oh, Troy Gunther has a little bit of a moment just setting up for DID Chains turn 1 that time around. That gives Spriggsy just a tiny bit of breathing space. But still, look, nothing really covering this top 4, and not far behind them is Precipio and Blair.
You know, the other thing that I've noticed too, Trev, you're saying that there's nothing in it, but there's nothing in it with all of the motorcycles because they all seem to be very evenly matched. We've got Callum Spriggs on board the Yamaha leading the race on bike number 3. Then we've got the 2 Kawasaki's of Troy Gunther and Rick Olsen on 65 and 20. Then in 4th place, we've got the Suzuki of Braden Elliott on bike number 7. Then we've got the Yamaha of Jay Precipio, another Yamaha of Michael Blair, Paul Young on board the Kawasaki in 7th, and Luke Mitchell on board the another Yamaha on bike number 6 in 8th position at the moment.
I think it's only a matter of time now for Rick Olsen to get the better of Troy Gunther. He looks absolutely fantastic under brakes. Oh, what a run out of Bell Helmets turn 5 that time around. Surely he's going to slip up the inside here into Honda turn 6. Look at that.
Gunther was late on the brakes.
Sure he was, and he managed to gather it up that time around.
So this is a good confidence-building ride for Luke Mitchell on board bike number 6 as well too, Trev, because he was Malalari, had some good results, and then all of a sudden he was taken out twice in 2 races by other people's incidents that shoved him off the circuit and just dented his confidence a little bit. So good to see him getting back with some good results. But look at this lead group of 5 now as they're just starting to make a way. Oh, Michael Blair's now latched onto the back of them. He's going with them as well. Then there's about a 1 second gap from Blair back to Paul Young, who's the leader of the next group of riders. But it is Spriggs, Gunther, Olsen, Elliott, Precipio and Blair, our leading group at the moment as they make their way through Dunlop Corner turn 3.
Olsen enters that turn 3 so smoothly and so nicely. So I think Troy Gunther might learn a trick or two from Ricky Olsen down into that turn 3 if Rick does manage to get ahead of him.
Well, Troy Gunther
got a fantastic run out of here last time around as well, did Rick?
The 16-year-old local man, Troy Gunther, certainly a star of the future. He's done a lot of racing overseas, but this is his first year of racing in the Supersport category here in Australia. He said he learns every time he goes
Rick
out.
Back up the inside, is he? No.
Rick Olsen is a 2 times champion in this class, and at the moment the young 16-year-old is putting up a really good effort here to maintain second position.
Presepio up the inside of Braden Elliott as they negotiate.
There was a bit of a coming together there, I think. He just had to get out as well. Did Presepio. That's just going to fire the South Australian up even more.
So there's only 1.1 seconds covers the entire top 6. Oh, they're a little bit wide out of race 6 suspension turn 2 that time around.
Looked like Braden Elliott was hard on the gas, and the front end of the Hankook tyre Suzuki was just starting to get a little bit lively as he made his way out of race tech suspension turn 2 and down the long Dunlop back straight. But this top 6 has really just started to pull away, but there hasn't been a lot of overtaking in the last couple of laps or so, Trev. They've been pretty much just holding station.
Yeah, that's right. Well, there's still only just past half race distance now. Still got a few laps to go. So yeah, it's all going to come down to the final lap, I think. So it's probably no use taking too many risks at this point of the race. But of course, these boys are racers. That's not how they see it. Ricky Olsen looks up the inside of Troy Gunther as well. Braden Elliott throws it sideways down into turn 6 there. Olsen's going to make it stick this time and take that second position off Troy Gunther.
But you could see how desperate and late Rick Olsen was on the brakes as he started to get the front end pattering a little bit down into turn 2. But the good thing was, Trev, that whilst the front end was pattering and jumping up and down a little bit, he still had the confidence to just tip it into the corner and still hit the apex perfectly.
See Braden Elliott really starting to mount a challenge through on Troy Gunther through race tech turn 2 there. As you see Presepio and Blair still battling hard over that 5th position.
And the more that these two battle for that 5th position, it's going to allow this lead group to get away as Ricky Olsen challenges Callum Spriggs for the lead.
So good into this Dunlop turns 2 is Rick Olsen.
Run a fraction wide. There's a bit of a coming together. Rick Olsen goes very wide.
Spriggsy had a look.
In fact, he was almost back onto the start-finish straight. He was that wide there at the exit of turn 3.
So actually that entire top 6 has got even closer despite that battle over 5th and 6th. It's only 1.08 seconds covers the top 6 now. As you see Braden Elliott starting to get a little bit more aggressive. Really wants to take that 3rd position off Troy Gunther.
And I think that's probably the
Rick
first
Olsen
time
up the inside of Spriggsy once again, backs it in. He's going to make that stick, I think. Spriggsy's going to be stuck out there.
Is that the first time this weekend that Callum Spriggs has actually been bested for the lead in any of the races so far?
Yeah, that was quite unusual. Rick actually clicked the gear while he was still banked over there, just before he picked it up out of turn 6 to run up the straight there.
He's got the quick shifter working now.
Well, he's got something working because it certainly didn't harm his drive out at all. And Braden Elliott really good through that mid part of turn 2 there.
He was almost sitting on the ducktail of Troy Gunther's ZX6 as they made their way out onto the Dunlop straight.
Look at that for a lineup. Okay, it's 0.8 of a second now covering the top 6. So it's just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Presepio's looking to challenge Braden Elliott now.
And through intermediate 1, it's down to 0.7 of a second, and there's about 1.3
Blair up
seconds.
The inside of Presepio, no, quite, and Paul Young's about 1.3 seconds off that, but it doesn't even look that. Looks as though he might have closed up a little bit more.
Yeah, Youngie's might be on a bit of a charge here. He's managed to get away from Luke Mitchell and Mitch Levy as well.
Interesting to see the lap time this time around from Youngie, I think. Actually, its leading groups perhaps just slowed the pace a little bit as they battle for position, as that top 6 is really closed up. As we said, just 0.7 now covering that top 6 riders with 2 laps to run. Well,
fastest man
a lap and a bit to go, I should say now.
Fastest man in the race has been Rick Olsen with that 12.497. His last lap was a 12.9, so he's back to
Blair up the inside of Elliott.
Half a second on slower. Youngie is definitely making his way forward.
Luke
Paul
Mitchell
Young
and Levy are not too far behind either.
Yeah, Paul Young 12.7, Michael Blair was a 13.2, so he's half a second faster than Michael Blair on that last lap was Paul Young.
So Spriggsy's it's the last lap now. Be interested to see where Spriggsy tries to put a move on Rick Olsen. Tail of that ZX6 wagging a little bit there through race tech turn 2, which gives Spriggsy gets much better drive. He's going to go up the inside here down into Dunlop turn 3. Rick's so good into here, but Spriggsy's going to be there, so there's no way you're going to turn in there, Rick. But back to the inside, can he do it?
He's on the inside run, but it's going to put him on the outside. Look at power that. Sliding that ZX6 on the way out of turn 3. That was sensational stuff, but he's, well, Callum Spriggs has got the better drive down there, and he will lead through the Bell Helmets corners for the final time.
Rick's so good through this second part of the left-hander, though. This Bell Helmets turn 5, he gets a great run through there, and yeah, look at it. Just got a bike length there just as they were coming up right, I think. And
it's going to have to be a battle down into the final corner.
Rick Olsen goes to the inside. But Spriggsy's still there. Is he going to? That's
He's
racecraft.
done it. Rick Olsen has got up the
That's
inside.
racecraft.
Oh, no, there's going to be a drag line. I think Callum Spriggs is going to get it. What a race.
Oh, and he knows he's
what
got it.
What a race.
The fist comes out. Geez, I thought Ricky had done him there. That was some fantastic racecraft from
Callum Spriggs
Rick
and
Olsen
Rick Olsen.
Some experience showing there.
But I'll tell you what that was, Trev. That was Callum Spriggs has led every race so far from start to finish, hasn't had any pressure. This time he was under immense pressure and he still got the job done. So great to see Callum Spriggs take out that victory. And Rick Olsen, a great ride from him though too.
And a fastest lap of the race to Joe Principio on the last lap with a 12.4. But we must have missed something happened there towards the back of that group with Braden Elliott, because he got shuffled all the way back down to 6th place in that final lap. So he'll be very disappointed in that result. Will Elliott? He's rarely finished off the podium this season at all, and so he'll be displeased with that result.
He was 1.3 seconds behind. He was actually with that lead grip, so something's happened. He did a 13 flat on the last lap.
Yeah, which lost him half a second to Principio and Blair. So that's.
I dare say it might have been the fierceness of the battle between Joe Principio, who we saw doesn't mind getting the bike sideways.
So there's confirmation results with the all-site concreting Yamaha YRD YZF-R6. So many Ys in there. Callum Spriggs, a local rider. Takes the win from Rick Olsen from Cessnock on the Kawasaki Connection ZX6R, and Troy Gunther, who's also a local Queenslander on the PI Technical Motorsure ZX6. Then we've got Jay Principio, who put the fastest lap of the race in on that last lap on the Race Centre YRD YZF-R6. Michael Blair in 5th on the Blair build machine, not only 9/10 from the race winner, and Braden Elliott rounded out the top 6. Only 1.3 seconds covering that entire top 6. Fantastic race, and Youngie, that next group back in 7th place, and it'll be really good if in the rounds to come Youngie can perhaps make that gain that another couple of tenths so he can join that battle, because
Callum, congratulations, a fantastic effort out there, but I tell you what, Rick Olsen kept you very honest.
Yeah, it's definitely, they've seen Troy at the start there. I'm pretty sure it was Troy at the start in there, and then see him edging his way up in there, and then managed to pull, well, not really a big gap, but just seeing Rick come by me, and then I just tried to put my head down and get him back, and it was a good dice there towards the end there. It was good fun battling with Rick, because he's really experienced in that, so it's really good to be battling with him. And it's good to get all these wins again, so hopefully we can do the same in the next one, so I'm looking forward to the battle for that one.
Well, it begs the question to be asked, how long before we see Callum Spriggs on a big ball bike, the 1000cc?
Well, I don't want to jump on one next year, but see what happens. Like, I want one now, but it's good to ride something different. That's for sure.
Good on you, mate. Well done.
Thanks.
Well, Rick Olsen, a fantastic effort out there again. A big smile on the dial. You must be pretty happy with the Kawasaki Connection, Kawasaki ZX6R.
Yeah, the ZX6R's been awesome, and it's even better when you have a race like that. It just gets the adrenaline pumping, so it was pretty cool. And, I thought maybe I would come out on top because, back in the day, usually I'd get them sort of ones, but it seems like Cal's learned a bit now, and he knows where to give it right back to me. So full credit to him. He rode unreal and deserved the win, and he'll go in the next one, and I'd say it'll be pretty similar, all of us battling at the front, so it should be good.
Will it be fair to say that the key to success in the next one will be a start?
Yeah, well, that start actually I didn't think was too bad, like for me anyway. I think I was, around 5th or 4th, so that's pretty good for me. And but if I can get an even better start, then that'll be great again. But I don't think there's any getting away, so it's just going to be tight battle until the
about those starts. Look forward to seeing you here in race 3.
Thanks, mate. Thanks to Kawasaki Connection, Glenn Willing, RIAA for jumping on board after Eastern Creek. Thanks a lot.
Awesome, and great to see Rick out there in this category again, and great to see him back in racing. So be a sad talent to lose from the series. It's just awesome to see him back in the mix.
Yeah, good to see RIAA getting in there as well. Of course, long-time sponsor for Brian Starring.
Explain to us what RIAA is, Phil.
Risk Investment Advisors Australia. Okay. Let's go down and hear from our third place getter, Troy Gunther.
Troy, congratulations, a great effort out there. Do you think you can do it and get one up on the boys in race 3?
I'll definitely give it our best shot. We made some big improvements thanks to triple X-rated race suspension in that race. Can't thank Chris enough. And really had a fun race. Learnt a lot from watching Rick and Cal battle, and see if we can get in the mix next time.
It seems as though there's not much between each of you three at the front of the pack. Is the key to the success here suspension and the setup?
Yeah, for sure. And I think a good start always helps as well. And it's been a big thanks to Chris. He's helped us get a really good setup in it.
Good on you, mate. We'll let you go back and make some adjustments.
Yeah, thank you.
And talking about some, older, Rick's not very old, but some older talent returning to the category to help spicing things up. There's a little picture of our future there with Troy Gunther, a fantastic young kid who's got great things in store for him in the years to come, no doubt.